I am Kerry Jehanne-Guadalupe. I channel light language. The main light language that I channel is a galactic light language. And the way I experience it, it's really for our healing and evolution, individually, collectively. So I use light language as an energy healing modality. I'm also an author, but the thing I love the most is channeling light language. When I think about Lemuria, I think about Lemurian consciousness. And so I feel it's an ancient consciousness that we're able to tap into. It's a part of our collective memory. And for me specifically, the Lemurian consciousness holds the wisdom of love and heart-based healing. And so I feel that it's this the more that we're tapping into that consciousness, it's helping us to access the healing energies of our heart and expanding our heart and expanding into love. And so I feel that it's an ancestral intelligence that we can access and connect to that can help us bring into wisdom into our current earth experience and help us to navigate into a beautiful future. That's how I experience the Lemurian consciousness. For me, light language it's a multidimensional language that's channeled. It's understood by our hearts and by our souls, and it's medicinal in nature. And so I started to channel light language up in Mount Shasta, which is also super fun that the expo is going to be in Mount Shasta. But that's where I started, and it was during a Native American ceremony. So the language that comes through me can sometimes sound very indigenous and very much connected. It's a galactic light language that's connected to indigenous cultures here. And so it's really about, for me, really about expanding and healing and evolving in a way that helps us to be inhabitants of the earth in a very heart-based way, in a very connected way. So I do feel that I see and I experience Lemurian consciousness in the indigenous cultures. And I was thinking about this earlier today, where I feel that even the Lemurian consciousness helps us tap into a universal wisdom. And I feel that that is also very much connected to the indigenous cultures and the teachings that I have learned. And so what is this universal consciousness that both the indigenous and Lemurian cultures and consciousness are helping us with? I do feel it's really about how to be inhabitants of the earth. When people talk about bringing heaven to earth, it's a real tangible experience of how do we really be in our heart? How are we connected with love? How are we connected to each other? And I feel like those are so similar. And so it's also feeling into the experience of just even talking about the expo to friends and family, and even people who don't necessarily know about Lemuria or feel connected to that, they're connected to a similar consciousness. There's this feeling of there is one truth but many songs. There's that saying, and I feel like it's so connected. It's really interrelated and in a beautiful way of how are we the best inhabitants of the earth, not only just for the earth and connected to the earth and each other, but how do we navigate forward with a wisdom, the consciousness of love and the connectedness to love and heart-based living. So I am doing a workshop on Monday morning on the 24th, and it's a 3-hour light language gathering. So what I'll do is I'll offer a brief exploration of what light language is and how I work with it. and then offer a series of transmissions. So when I work with groups, I usually do, a transmission's about 30 minutes long or however long that it's appropriate for the group. And then I leave time for people to share their experience. And then when people feel like they've completed what they're sharing, I do another transmission. And so it's this back and forth, the transmission and then an opening up to sharing. I feel like the sharing of when people share their experience and their truth of how they experience the light language, it's such a beautiful part of any kind of light language gathering. And it's fascinating that with one transmission, everyone in the room can have very unique experiences. Sometimes there's overlap, but with the light language, it's so dynamic and it will adapt to people's needs. And someone's higher self will work with the light language as it's most appropriate for them. And so someone might feel like they're opening more into their abilities, and someone is clearing a parallel life experience, and someone is working with their ancestors. And so it's this really beautiful time where people can share what they've experienced from the transmission. And I'll do another transmission and go back and forth like that. But I'm super excited and looking forward to it. It's the second day of the workshops, which is also the last day of the expo. And so I almost feel that it's also this time where people, if they've had these extraordinary experiences during the expo, it also can be time to ground those experiences and integrate, and if that's what their higher self is asking for in the moment, but it could be this really nice culmination of experiences to really integrate what the expo has been for them. I started channeling light language in Mount Shasta, so it's really a dear spot for me. It's been this place where I feel that I've done a lot of opening and growing. And people refer to and experience Mount Shasta as the root chakra of the planet. And for me, I experienced that. And when I really feel into it, it's a sense of what is Mount Shasta helping us root into? And again, I do feel like it's love. Like what is it helping us ground? I feel like it is helping us to ground that love energy, to really be in our hearts, not just rooting and being a part of earth, but like rooting ourselves and grounding ourselves into the consciousness of love. And that's how I experience Mount Shasta. It's been this really beautiful, sacred space for me to do some inner work and healing and expanding and connecting. And for me, it's a very, very magical place. And I'm super excited that the expo is going to be there. I think it's just going to add to the expo exponentially.